two principal industries. One of them is yours, agriculture, and one of them is travel and tourism, and we're right here in the heart of both in a way in this room today. And I'm going to tell you, as Florida's next governor, I'm going to do everything in my power to market both agriculture and travel and tourism. I want to see every hotel room filled that I can. I want to see every restaurant seat filled. I want you to sell your products. I want to have the research that we need to keep up with the problems that are here with the pests and with all kinds of things in science and things that are going to be required to make this industry that you represent viable for many years to come, because it's absolutely essential that these two pillars of Florida's economy continue to be there and prosper and do better. But at the same time, we need to diversify because we need jobs. We need other jobs, so that when some of our children and our grandchildren come out of the universities we've got in this state and the colleges, they've got a place to go and we have a revenue stream. And the way we need to diversify, we've talked about this a lot. We do a little of it with Burnham and Scripps and a few of the things that have come along the last couple of years, but not over the whole state, not everywhere, very disparate. You go to Citrus County, for example, where I was the other day. I wandered into there because of the manatee and because of a release program that they were about to do with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and there was a big controversy there, so Mike Fasano, the senator, asked me to go there. I went over to Homosassa, went over to Little Spring, and looked at how beautiful it was, and I wandered over to the newspaper office. They sat me down and told me they had the highest unemployment rate in the state. We now, as you know, in the state as a whole, 1.1 million people unemployed. But in Citrus County, there's really no industry there. It's been based. It was the fastest growth county in the state for a while. Largely retirees. It has Black Diamond, great golf course, but it really doesn't have any real business there to employ people, especially in times like these. And a lot of Florida's like that. So what do we do about it? How do we better create the economic climate to grow our state and to lure industry here and to grow the jobs and the small businesses we have? Well, number one, we need to keep taxes low. Number two, we have to have common sense regulations. Occasionally, you gotta have regulations, but we need to be flexible with these where we can be, where we're not, it's not absolutely essential for some public good that's above all. And there are a lot of places where we are not making those exceptions, or we're too darn slow to make them in order to be able to get businesses to come here or to be able to get them to stay here or to grow here. Number three, we need to dramatically improve our education system, our public education system. Now, I know that we've announced this week that Education Weekly has moved us from 31st to 8th in the nation on their list. And there are criteria that are there that are really good. We made some good strides because of the accountability provisions that Jeb Bush had enacted when he was governor, and some of the other things we've done that are in the right direction. But we need to reward good teachers, and we need to improve our schools a lot more. We should not be sitting on saying, hey, Education Weekly says we're 8th in the nation, so we've done a great job, pat ourselves on the back, and go away. Because despite all of this, when industry looks to come here, they look to whether we're providing the type of training for the jobs that they need, or they expect us to have, and for their children in order to come here, because they're going to live here, for their people that are going to come here. And we are not there yet. The fourth thing we need is litigation, meaningful litigation reform, significant litigation reform. And you won't find my general election opponent talking about that. The trial lawyers have looked at it. They have a big bullseye on my back, I reckon. But this is not new to me, as you know. Any of you have known me. But I'm a lawyer, and I'm not going to put them out of business, but I'm going to tell you today, Miami has the highest medical malpractice insurance premiums of any city in the United States. The state of Florida, on average, has the highest medical malpractice insurance premiums of any state in the United States. I can tell you that if I'm looking at Mississippi or Texas, who recently done litigation reform, and not just in malpractice, but in business litigation reform that affects every business, reducing the cost of doing business. Those two states, are cleaning our clock with regard to job growth right now. And who'd have thought it had been Mississippi? Now, my friend Haley Barber is a big part of that, but that's a huge issue. And yet, at the very same time, by the way, Mississippi's Attorney General is the one the Wall Street Journal knocks all the time for what he goes out and contracts for that I won't do. But having said that, their laws have been changed to really severely constrain that. So that's a very important part of this. And then we need to face these really tough issues that Florida has squarely of property taxes, property insurance, and water. And they're complex, and if they were simple, we'd have solved them a long time ago, and they're not.